This whole time we'll get you on board a little bit. Carefully, folks, welcome aboard. Make sure you're sliding all the way across the road, filling out all that space. We're standing on the Safari at any time. Please do always stay seated. All right, is everybody ready? What's that? Everybody ready? All right. Once you're saying Harambe to Wendy, let's go. So, Jumbo folks, my name is Bill. And I'm going to be your game driver for the next 2 weeks on the safari of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. If you're going to be taking any pictures or videos, please make sure you hold on to your cameras very tightly, as the reserve does not allow me to stop to pick up anything which may fall off the vehicle. Alright, so we're going to hold up here for just a second. I told Airboat Patrol to meet me here at about this time. Hopefully they're not late. They're going to give us access to the reserve. So I get in touch with them here in just a moment. Alright, well, looks like they should be here by now. Let's get in touch with them. Airborne Patrol, this is Symbol 1. Over. Jumbo Wilson, entering the reserve near the Aturi Forest. Over.
Keep your eyes open and drive carefully. You should see lots of animals.
Yeah, 10-4 Wilson, over. All right, folks, so keep your eyes over here on the right-hand side. You might see a yellowback diker laying down by the tree line. Looks like we're coming up to a watering hole here. Very important part of the forest. All sorts of animals come here to quench their thirst, so to speak, so we do get to see some of the rare species from time to time, including black rhino. Black rhinos have been poached near extinction for their horns, and only about 4,200 do remain in the wild. Pretty sad, I know. Now they have a 1-inch thick hide. They can charge at 35 miles per hour, and they have no known natural predators aside from man. So it gives you a pretty good idea of just how much man can influence nature.
Miren allá.
I do see some saddle-billed storks down the clearing here on the left. Saddle-billed storks. Well, the tallest storks in Africa, they can be as tall as 5 feet with a wingspan of 8 to 9 feet. Now, folks, when you booked your 2-week safaris with us, I bet you were planning to see some of the largest animals the reserve had to offer. Am I right or what? Man, you guys are killing me. All right, since you're all too shy to speak up for yourselves, you know what? I'll take you there anyway. Now the Safi River plays host to hippopotamus. They're pretty big. At birth, a male can weigh about 85 pounds. But once that little hippo becomes an adult, they can tip the scales at about 5,000 pounds. Not sure what that is in kilograms, but I know a kilogram is about, what, 2.2 pounds? So do the math. But there's some hippos over here on the other side. There's one really close to us, too. Now, on the island, our pink-backed pelican, they work together as a colony to herd fish into the shallower water so we can scoop them up and eat. Here's a bunch of hippos on the left. Now, they are nocturnal herbivore, and they can consume about 150 pounds of vegetation every single evening. They can stay submerged like that for about 5 to 8 minutes or so. Oh, look at this. There's a really rickety old bridge up ahead, folks. I don't like going over these kind of things, but I really don't have much of a choice, so Make sure you're staying seated, okay? 4-ton weight limit, huh? I guess the people who built this bridge didn't realize that our trucks are 6 tons, huh? Well, the big plus on our side is that the crocodiles that used to hang out from under the bridge, they're up the river. Yeah, see, it's crocodile nesting season. And kind of a counterintuitive thing, but they actually go away from the nest during the nesting season. I'm okay with that.
Simba must come in.
Yeah, simple one here, we'll send it over.
Just wanted to let you know that my ground patrol has seen a lot of elephant activity near the Red Light Pit. You definitely want to check out that area.
It's at Fort Wilson, we'll go there a bit later, but for now, folks, there's a baobab tree on the right-hand side. The baobab trees are incredible survivalists. They do store large amounts of water in their trunk while going leafless 9 months out of the year. Now you're about to see one of the best views of the Savannah. The Serengeti grasslands serve as a superhighway for millions of migrating animals every single year. It's also home to some of the more famous animals out there like lions, giraffes, and elephants. So I hope we have an opportunity to see some, but as you can see, folks, this is all part of the wild Africa that we're trying so hard to preserve. And on the right-hand side, there's a white-bearded wildebeest. They partake in the largest overland migration on the planet. About 1.5 million of them migrate through East Africa every year. Here's some Patterson Zealand on the right-hand side. Pretty big, huh? The largest antelope in Africa, folks. There's also one on the left. Why don't we stop here for a picture of the one on the left? Now, they can weigh about 2,000 pounds and be as tall as 6 feet measured up to their shoulders.
Bueno, ya no lo digas. No, hay que dejar un bolsito donde volvemos a la salida. Sí, que te lo hago, Sebastián.
All right, so I see a little animal up here to the front left. Actually, a few of them. Now these are Thompson's gazelle. They're pretty small, they're only 45 to 65 pounds apiece. They do look fully grown. Now notice they have eyes on the side of their head so they can spot predators coming in from the flanks. Now there's a Maasai giraffe coming up here to the front left. Has an oak leaf type texture on its body. They're a bit smaller than the Maasai, than the reticulated giraffe out here, which are about 18 to 20 feet tall. I put them down about a foot or two lower, maybe 3. Now giraffes will eat for about 16 to 20 hours every single day, non-stop. But they'll sleep for an even less amount of time, about 30 minutes. There's a water buck over there, folks. Water bucks secrete natural oil on their fur, which helps waterproof them and protect them from the natural elements. The water buck, well, he looks lonely, doesn't he? He's got that sad look in his face. But there's some Ankoli cattle up here in the bushes to the left. Look at those huge horns on those things. They're about 5 to 6 feet in length with a 20-inch circumference at the base of those horns. Now, one of the most surprising things about the Ancolli cattle is how normal they sound. They sound like normal cows. They just move.
Cocodrilo, cebras. No, cocodrilo. Sí.
We're headed to Monkey Point. Over.
Give you a little we picked up a baby elephant that was wandering off on its own. We can't find the mother. I'm afraid the baby is preserved.
Oh, Wilson, that's bad news. Folks, if you see anything suspicious, you let me know. We'll radio Wilson of an airport patrol. Sound good? All right. Appreciate your help, folks. Be a lot easier to find it with a whole bunch of people than just me, but Monkey Point's on the left-hand side. It got its name from some angels I made their home there years ago. I haven't seen them in a while, though. Maybe they moved on. But let's hit the radio. My favorite station's, it's my favorite station, really. Well, I'd say it's the best station. But it's the only one around here. That doesn't mean it's not the best. It's worse than the last one. Let me turn the radio off. I'm going to take us over. But just stay seated, folks. And don't worry about that structural damage here. It'll get you worried. You'll just move around and squirm. That wouldn't be good. But take a look down the right. There's a clearing. Could be some elephants down. Folks, get over to the right. I need you all to lean. Come on, let's go. All right. Oh, I like the sound of that, All right, I'm going to get you off the bridge, but quit moving around back there. Okay, all right. Let's hit it. 20. Let's go. Yeah, I know. It was a bit reckless. I got you. I saved you, though, so it cancels each other out. It's kind of like math problem or something. There's test marks in the clay, though. Could be some elephants nearby. But you might be wondering why the tusk marks are even there at all. Well, the elephants eat the clay and they get some essential vitamins and nutrients from it which cannot be found in their typical diet of dry grass. Oh, there's some elephants down there, but they're really far away. Might not be a lot to see. Let me see if we get further down the road and we get a better look, okay? The Babob tree on the right. You know, some of the English speakers around here, the native English speakers, are starting to call those things upside down trees, and I don't blame them. Alright folks, just a little calf up here, a really good view of one. The angle's a little awkward, so I'm going to try my best, okay? I guess he's not so little after all. The calf's probably about, I don't know, 3-4 years old, clocking in about 1,000 pounds or so. That's what it looks like. But you know what, there's some greater flamingos up here. Now, greater flamingos are the least color pink of all flamingos, and they get that ever so slight pink color from their diet of brine, shrimp, and other small crustaceans, which are very rich in the pigment carotene. Now, I suppose you could say that they're a bit ironic, seeing as how they're greater flamingos with the least color pink. But I can say that you folks don't care for irony as much as safari drivers, so forget about it. All right. I'm sorry, I guess I'll still keep going. But you know what? The area in front of us is widely renowned for white rhinoceros. Now they've been poached and near extinction for their horns like the black rhino, but over the course of the past few decades, We've been able to bring them back to a level of sustainability due to some of the better anti-poaching laws we've been able to pass. They're a huge success all across Africa, and I'm really glad you have an opportunity to see some of them left. Now we're going to stop a little further down the road so you get a nice up-close picture. Ostrich eggs on the right-hand side of the road near the truck. Look at those things, pretty big, huh? 3 pounds apiece, making the largest bird egg that exists. Now to the front right, there's a Bontabak, everybody. Now I want you to take a long, hard look at it, take some pictures, because your pictures are going to last a lot longer than the Bontabaks. You see, they're extinct in the wild. Yeah, they only exist on reserves like this. Pretty sad.
Right now at the junction, I suggest you go west. It will be worth it.
10-4 Wilson, over. Now, folks, you do have to stay seated. There is no standing on this safari. Take a seat there, big guy. Appreciate it. All right, take a look at this. At about by 10 o'clock, soon to be by 9 o'clock, there's cheetahs laying down. One along the tree line, one more in the foreground. Now, cheetahs are the fastest land mammal on the planet. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, all the way in the back, you do have to have your children staying seated at all times. Little guy in the back, siéntate, por favor. Folks, you gotta take a seat in the back. There's no standing, please. Once again, little guy in the back, I cannot move the truck until you get seated, please. All the way in the back. Do appreciate it. Now, once again, folks, keep in mind that when you stand up, I get really worried about your safety, and I can't talk about any of the animals until you take a seat. That's just the way I am. So let's keep this about the animals, shall we? Now, the copies are here on the left-hand side. Lions like to frequent the copies. See, they come here to use it as a sentry post so they can survey the savannah in an effort to protect their pride. I have to go around to the other side. I don't see a whole lot over here. But you know what? That's not why they're my favorite antelope. It's because they can go almost their entire life without drinking a single drop of water. Those are
Mira una mariposa. Salió bien, salió bien. Hay que darle ganas porque si no entra en la frecuencia contraria, algo va a salir.
all right. So there's those annex here on the right-hand side. All right, folks. Wilson just told us about some poachers. You want to help me fight them? All right. Well, here we go. All right. So getting your help, folks, is gonna be a big deal. If you see something, you let me know. Wilson, you didn't tell me about the gate. Look at this. Poacher smashed right through it. Now I know, poachers shouldn't be trifled with, I get it. But it's my duty to protect this reserve, and that's what I'm gonna do. Now I have nowhere to drop you off, folks, so please, you gotta stay seated!
The forces are heading east. Keep going, and they'll find out my control. Over.
All right, 10-4 Wilson, over. Oh, it's gonna get rocky, so really, folks, you gotta stay seated as we go over this bumpy area. Airborne Patrol, this is Symbol 1. I see the Poacher's camp up ahead. Looks deserted. Did we lose them? Over.
Oh, not to worry. You dropped them right into my patrol.
All right, 10-4 Wilson, over.
The Poacher friend, but they won't get far. You located the mother and the brother. Thanks to you, they are now both safe. I'm not saying that I'm I have to go now. We have to get this baby elephant back to its mother.
All right, Asante Sana Wilson, over. That means thank you in Swahili. So Asante Sana, folks, when they take you off the reserve like that, we found the Poachers. That's a huge deal. But they knew we were coming, they got out of that truck. I smell a rat, but I can't worry about the rats right now. We gotta get you folks out of here. We gotta worry about you. I'm taking this 2 weeks apart and I'm chopping it down by 13 days. That's all there is to it. But I guess it's not so bad because in this part of the reserve, we can drop you off at the warden's post. There's a path that goes back to Harambe Village. They're only about 5 or 6 miles. It should only take you an hour or 2 to get back. It's not so bad. It could be worse. But you know, due to those poachers, we really did have to skip a lot of the animals I was hoping to see. Now, if you're interested in going to the Pangani Forest Exploration Trail, as you're heading out of the reserve, follow the signs that say Harambe Village. But make sure you hang a right at the first merchandising stand on your left. Alright, that was confusing. Okay. Just follow the signs back to Harambe and take a right at the first merchandising stand. There you go. That'll bring it right to the forest. So it looks like we'll be getting you off here in just a second. We have to wait for our warden to give us the all clear to approach. So make sure it's safe for everybody around here. All right, so we're next up, folks.
Pull it out.
All right, everybody. Now, I'm sorry you had to end it this way, really abrupt-like, but that's how you gotta act when there's poachers around. You gotta act appropriately. But other than that, I hope you all had a good time. I had a good time driving you around. Now, I don't like to say goodbye. It's too final, too sad of a word. Instead, I like to say Kwaherini, which means go well. So, Kwaherini, folks.